Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Did you know millennials are the largest demographic today, bigger than baby boomers? They're waiting much longer before getting married, having kids, and buying a house. They cherish access of ownership and experiences over things. They're the first generation to earn less than their parents. In many cities, on average, 50% or more of their income is spent on rent. 50%. Everyone needs a roof over their head, but not a specific location to work from. This is why co-living is becoming such a popular trend. I'm Daniel Beck, the CEO of Coliving.com. I discovered co-living randomly in 2014 when I booked a $50 a bed bunk bed in Silicon Valley. Bunk beds are not your standard offer, but in Silicon Valley, you take what you get. There are people in this place that immediately become my friends, and I truly find my tribe. After running a marketplace in Norway for 10 years, I decided I wanted to make a website where people could search for, book, and pay their next co-living experience. At the time, I found around 100 spaces around the world. Now there's almost 700, and it's growing by the day. Raise your hand if you know what co-living is. Nice. Does anyone run a co-living space today? Good. So because we have a limited time today, we're going to go through 6 of the 15 topics in the guide, How to Start a Co-Living Business. We changed a little bit from the topic in the magazine. But to get the complete guide, if you can send me an email, I will send it to you when it's finished. So we're going to go through community, test your idea, finances and prices, find location, find property, and sales and marketing. And there will be a Q&A after my session, so if you would, with questions until then. I'm sure most of you already know, you should never, ever start a company without doing extensive research first. There's a line in a Kevin Costner movie, if you build it, he will come. But that's in Hollywood, not in real life. So how do you get him to come? How do you get all of them to come? How do you build something that appeals, entices, encourages these young professionals to book with you? And once they're there, are they going to love it? Will they feel compelled to review it and invite their friends? And then come back again for the next adventure and the next after that? There are probably other people who have started similar spaces to the one you wish to create. So book a stay at their place, live there for a while, and truly immerse yourself into the experience. Listen to other guests' comments. Focus on the vibe of the space. Is it chilled, slack, productive, friendly, efficient, welcoming, or toxic and unprofessional? Is it tidy? Does it smell nice? Are you hearing doors banging when you try to sleep? Ask other members why they chose this place and really get a feel of it. All the positives and the negatives. Decide what you want to bring from this space to your space, and which aspects you would never copy, ever. Then you'd run a beta test. Invite a few people from your target group to live with you for a week in an Airbnb in the area you're looking at. There are no need to have an exact amount of people as you plan for your space, just a few people whose opinion you truly value. During the stay with you, ask questions like, what are the things they cannot live without? Example, is having your own bathroom essential? What about a work area away from the smell of the kitchen? Thoughts on privacy, cleaning, etc. How far from transportation are they willing to live? Would they choose to live with you if you started a similar space? And most importantly, which kind of people would they want as fellow co-living guests? And which kind would make them want to run for the hills? For each person, do a follow-up after the leave. Ask if they would be interested in being ambassador for your project. Their role would be to assist you with planning and marketing to get your space known in the right circles. In return, offer them a free month in your space when it's up and running. That way, it should hopefully be easy for you to get people involved, and potentially these ambassadors become long-term guests. And since they helped set it up, of course they're going to love it. Test your idea for co-living space with real estate owners. If you're not swimming in cash, you may wish to form a partnership and split the income. If they like the concept and are willing to do a trial, find guests as fast as possible before signing the contract. This way, you can have some guaranteed guests from day one, unless, of course, your property needs renovation. Test your idea for some potential investors. The idea is not to get investors now, but to position your company for investments later. If you have approached them in advance, and they're more likely to invest in the future, for example, when you need to expand or hire more staff. And let's be honest, an investor coming in too early may put pressure for you to change your vision to suit theirs. Finding suitable property. The different kinds of properties that are suitable for co-living are as follows. Large villas, serviced apartments or apartment buildings with many bedrooms, hostels, motels, and hotels with a common area, and so on. Be sure to find out how recently this property was renovated. It will show pretty fast if it's been a while, as things start falling apart, falling off, peeling away and cracking. And make sure the property owner is responsible for maintenance and responds quickly to your communication. Remember, make sure you do a property check with a third-party professional before signing a deal. If you're planning to have a co-working space in the same building, see that the social areas are separate from the work area in both the audio and visual way. Living and sleeping spaces should be upstairs or in a more remote area of the property. This way, it allows guests to relax more, away from sound, and truly disconnect. A good rule is to have about 200 to 300 square feet per person in total for sleeping community areas. In a space, if the space is not well optimized, you might need more. Try to discourage people from using cars. Having 20 people park their cars around the property may cause problem and get neighbors complaining. It's better to supply guests with free bikes, or you can charge them a small rental fee. If you contact hostels, hotels, and motels, you need to inquire if they have community areas that are suitable to relaxing and have a separate work area with enough power sockets for recharging devices. Hotels are often interested in getting long-term stays and are willing to heavily discount by 50% or more the daily price when people stay 30 days or longer. Once over 30 days, accommodation is seen as residential with tax rates going to a lower tax bracket. Getting people to stay longer builds better communities where real friendships are forged. If you can find a map of co-working spaces in a city and combine it with a list of accommodation that can offer a low rate per month, you can make packages with co-working and co-living. Sales and marketing. The main focus should not only be to find new guests. If you focus on getting guests to stay longer and keep on coming back, you need less guests overall. Normally, a large part of your cost will be spent acquiring new guests. Set the dream of Sell the dream of freedom of choice. Guests can choose to be around similar like-minded people. They can choose where to live. They can choose less distractions. And most importantly, they can choose to live on their own terms. Now that's what I call freedom. Coliving is a new way to live, work, and interact. You need to be experienced. Sure, you may get your friends and family excited, but perhaps some may say that they live like this in college, but they would certainly not consider living this now. That's fine, it's not your target market. So when you explain to people, accept that it sometimes can be hard to really understand the concept until you're in the middle of it and living it. Focus on needs of connection, of community, a sense of belonging, being in the presence of others like them. To be around people who are pursuing the career while also having an instant social circle. A sense of belonging when you get to a co-living space is like nothing else. It's instant acceptance, instant connection, and friends who will lift and inspire you. You won't get that from sitting in a Starbucks, that's for sure. So let's focus on some practical ways to getting people moving in. Existing guests are your safest bet, because people trust people 7 times more than marketing directly from a company. Word of mouth recommendations are everything. If people are happy staying with you, they may refer friends, especially if you entice them with some commission in the form of vouchers they can spend with you on their next stay. A win-win for both you and them. Make partnerships with co-working spaces, incubators, accelerators, startup hubs, even companies seeking accommodation for traveling employees. Add your listing on marketplaces like Coliving.com, of course. Classifieds pages, roommate sites, anywhere you can place an ad, but remember to describe which kind of people you're looking for so that you can build a community you want. Have competitions in social media. For example, getting people to invite their friends in exchange for a chance to win a month free stay. This is just the tip of the iceberg. We have got limited time. More information will be available if you can, with a complete guide. If you send me an email to daniel@coliving.com, and I'll send it to you when it's finished. So, Maria will come and talk about the 3 next topics. But if I can say one last thing. Co-living makes people connect with other people in a very deep and beautiful way. It makes friendships and business partners for life and should really be experienced. So find a place on coliving.com and test it out before you build your own. Questions? Thank you.